The site of a former infamous juvenile detention center will soon undergo a major transformation. For half a century, the site located in the South Bronx was home to the Hamilton Detention Center. Built in 1962, the facility was designed to detain hundreds of young people from across the city. It was closed by the city in 2011 after reports surfaced concerning the treatment of the youth. It has been abandoned ever since. Last week, the City Council approved a new project that will transform the old jail site into a 5-acre, $300 million campus, anchored by 740 units of affordable housing. The project is the latest component in the city's initiative to rejuvenate the South Bronx. The developer, Franklin Properties, will be in close contact with the New York City Economic Development Corporation to finalize the deal and break ground later this year.
Here at the New York City Economic Development Corporation, our goal is to leverage the city's assets to create good jobs and drive growth, ensuring equitable and sustainable development across all 5 boroughs. My name is Eric Clement, and I oversee the Strategic Investment Team, a recently established department. Our mission is to secure the most advantageous financial investments for the city through EDC. However, achieving our objective can be a challenging task.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Those Franklin guys do a good job over there, don't they?
Sure do. I'm about ready to green light this. Unless anybody's got any questions.
Stop right there. What kind of financing are they requesting from us?
Ever had a free lunch before?
Well, once in school, we're on the mock trial team.
It's an expression.
Oh.
You know, Milton Friedman once said there's no such thing as a free lunch.
Obviously, Milton Friedman never got hired by New York City EDC. Here's what it looks like. And all this will be paid for with a grant from the city.
But of course, we got to pocket all the future rental income.
There's one big free lunch.
You know, I'm thinking it's maybe a bit obvious if we ask the city to pay for everything. I mean, what if the press picks this up? You know what reporters are like. I mean, they can make things look a lot worse than they actually are. So I think we should say that part of this is for a loan.
No, loans are terrible. You need to repay them and pay interest. This is one of these win-win situations. We do well by doing good. There's no reason for us to be cutting on how well we do. We're doing good. Look, we say it's a loan. It looks like a loan, it's structured like a loan, but with a footnote.
1% interest, junior tranche.
Well, to me, these terms don't make much sense.
Eric, please. We've been doing these deals with these guys for years. It's tried and tested, okay?
Do you mind if we take a look at the proposal?
Suit yourself. So, I hear you guys go around making things more complicated for everyone around here.
What?
The Osiris deal? You added all these extra clauses to the contract, slowed the whole process down. Everyone was talking about it.
That. Well, yes. I insisted that we give half the money up front instead of the whole amount, and the other half only if their drug got approval. Just trying to think strategically about how we invest our money, that's all.
Hey, have you seen this footnote in the loan terms?
So the footnote you propose says the principal is foregone after the initial 10 years. And that's basically a grant?
Now she's catching on.
It's a loan because we pay a smidgen of interest each year. It's just that the principal disappears after 10 years.
In all seriousness, no, it's still a great deal for the city. Not to mention we'll defer our developer fee, which ordinarily We'd never do.
It's a great deal.
A win-win.
I'm about to take this to the boss. I will see you up there.
I just want to make sure we're not jumping the gun here without getting the best possible deal.
Andrea, our goal is to complete projects for the city. The mayor has announced the deal. Now, how can I make this any clearer for you? We are not here to annoy our partners.
Or to save money, apparently.
Excuse me? Listen, I've known these guys for years. These are good people. You guys, you just see the bad and everything. What, was that what they teach you in these business schools, huh? That we're all crooks?
Mitch, your team's expertise is negotiating leases, not financing transactions. I've studied our past deals, and every time there's a financing gap, your group uses my group's funds to plug that gap. We're always giving away money for the sake of completing deals, and that has to stop. We cannot keep on giving away money just to get a headline.
Now listen, the real estate team gets things done. You guys, you just derail things. That's why we report straight to the boss and you don't. Now, when your team gets access to the C-suite, you can take it up with them. Until then, my team is running things.
Everyone will see we'll make a killing on this. The city forks over most of the costs, and we get all the rental income.
Yep. And we'll show that we don't expect much rent from this. That's where comes in.
Comms?
We put together rent comps. But these comps are a double-edged sword. We want our people to think we're getting a good deal on this. But we want the EDC to think we're getting a rough deal, so they give us more.
You can do that?
Why not? It's not like these guys have ever done comps analysis before. They just want to see shiny social green stuff. You show them that, they give you anything.
How can they justify these comps? Seriously, look at these numbers. They're suggesting that the brand new building they're about to build commands basically the same rent as the existing buildings that have been there for over 40 years.
They're trying to argue that rent will be low, which means that we either have to decrease our interest rates, extend maturity, or give the project more free money.
We have to take this to Stevens.
Hey, I tell you what, just, you go ahead there, catch him, but make sure you nail that deal next time.
Cheers to another development deal.
We sign this thing tomorrow.
What am I doing here?
You miss Wall Street?
Don't get me wrong, the money's great, but there's just not much of an opportunity to make an impact.
Eric, look.
The highly touted drug from pharmaceutical giant Osiris has failed to receive FDA approval. This is guaranteed to have ripple effects across Wall Street, which has been heavily invested in the drug.
Whoa. You said.
That's how it goes. So we don't
Eric Clement, right?
That's right.
How are things going over there at Strategic Investments?
Things are good. We get a little pushback at times from the other teams.
The reason I called you here is that I was informed your team structured the pharmaceutical investments for us.
We did, yes.
I imagine you've seen the news.
I have.
It turns out the initial investment from EDC also wasn't spent on approved items, which means we're getting our money back with interest.
Well, I'm happy we can help the city invest more carefully.
It was with Hamilton Development Projects.
Yes, sir. So
What's that
we're
number?
looking at the proposal, okay, and the comps just don't look good. We really need to do something.
Eric, I think you're doing very well for the company. And I'd just like to say that if you have any issues, you come to me directly. Now, go save New York some money.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
just don't add up.
We're projecting the costs to reach nearly 27 million. Now, we've worked out reasonable terms for a 5 million loan from LISC, which gets us off to a good start. Now, we can cover the rest if EDC allocates 15 million in the form of a grant and another 3 million as a junior tranche. And we really want to get this done, so we'll defer our own fee.
Let's talk about the loan from us for a second. We were reviewing the documents, and in a footnote, you're suggesting that the loan be forgiven in 10 years. I'm sorry, but this is a no.
What? That's always how it's been done. We've even included past examples of deals we've modeled this after. It's in the appendix. Casey, will you pull it up, please?
We've seen the appendix already, thank you.
So then what's the issue?
What you're asking for is an $18 million grant.
No. It's a grant and it's a loan.
A loan you do not repay is a grant.
No, it's a loan.
Casey, it's not a loan. It is a loan. Casey, stop interrupting, please.
You're only putting 2.7 million in of your own. You're hardly taking on any risk, and yet you reap most of the profits.
That's market practice.
Speaking of market practice, would you say this 25% contingency fee is also market practice?
Look, I know that you two are new to these kind of deals, but I can assure...
Listen, guys, listen. We don't know each other very well, so let's level set for a second. I came up in banking. UBS, Citi, JP Morgan. I worked in private equity overseas. I've seen a number of transaction structures, and I wouldn't say this is standard.
Maybe we got off on the wrong foot. Now, is Mitch around today?
If you have a problem with the deal, I'm the person to take it up with.
And just one more thing. These cost estimates do not take into account paying prevailing wage. They need to be.
Pardon me?
Prevailing wage. As you may recall, paying prevailing wage to all building trades working on the project is a requirement tied to the $15 million grant.
We pay the market rate.
Gentlemen, since you've done these deals before, you know that when you receive $1 million or more in funding from the city, you are obligated to pay prevailing wage. It's the law. This shouldn't come as a surprise.
It's taken years of prudent planning to get Franklin to the scale where we can take on projects like this. And we didn't get here by overpaying on anything. Labor included. And we ain't about to start now.
We're not asking you to overpay. We're asking you to compensate people fairly for the work that they put in. That is not negotiable, or the deal is off the table.
What?
We've run your financial models, and we've seen you'll be fine.
Since when has EDC been some financial model?
Since the strategic investment team was put lead on this deal.
Who do you guys think you are, huh? Listen, this ain't 126 West 57th Street. We're building in the Bronx. We're turning a prison into a paradise.
Me?
We're all a little on edge here. Let's just cool off. Shall we reconvene in a few days?
We're gonna have to run this by our team again. We'll be in touch with you.
Well, what? Are you being serious about letting the deal fall through, or just bluffing?
I was dead serious.
Okay. I get that, but maybe we need to try a softer approach.
Come on. You know how these guys work.
I know. I just don't want this thing to, like, fall apart, okay?
Trust me. They won't walk away. It is too good of a deal for them. We did the calculation. Since we're constructing Class A industrial buildings, we need to compare to other Class A buildings in the market. We can call Rob from JLL. He heads up the industrial division over there.
Why would he help us?
We are in a very powerful position here. Our private counterparts always like to remind us that we don't make any money.
Which is true.
But what they seem to always forget is that we have access to EDC's 66 million square feet of real estate. That's something the private sector is always trying to get their hands on. Rob knows that working with us gives them opportunities they never get on their own.
Okay.
Okay.
So what do we got on this Eric Clement?
Graduated Oxford said business school, top of his class, worked in PE overseas.
So what's he doing at EDC?
Who knows? So how do you want to handle this?
Give Mitch a call. Cut him some slack.
Gotcha.
Hey, Andrea, guess what?
What's that?
I've been looking into Franklin Development's previous projects, and they're all done by Marshall Constructions.
So?
Guess who's the biggest shareholder of Marshall Constructions?
Hey, Eric. Mitch wants you in his office. The developers are on the phone.
I know. Stevens put him on the case. The guy's a pain in the ass, but we gotta work with him. In the end, we're all trying to do what's right for the city, yeah? That's them here now. Dave, Tony, I'm here with Eric and Andrea. You remember them?
Oh, sure. How can we forget? We called in to say we agreed to your demands regarding prevailing wages. But as you know, this drastically increases costs. The rent comps suggest that we may struggle to make any profit on this whole endeavor. You need to find some other source of financing to bridge the gap.
Well, rest assured, we're working on that. Is there anything else we need to address before we move this forward?
Just a second. Just on that point on industrial rental comps, I just don't think we're on the same page about how profitable this deal will be for you.
You've seen our projections. The returns for this project really aren't that good. We normally wouldn't even take it on, but we spoke to the mayor, and we know you, Mitch, and we're just doing it because we think it's the right thing to do. To give back to the community.
Well, no, you have not chosen the appropriate comps. I mean, even in Hoboken, you're charging industrial tenants 3 times more than what you're telling us you can get in the Bronx, which is in the city, as you know.
The new development will be a brand new Class A asset, and most of the comps you guys provided are Class C. Your comp set shows an average of $13 per square foot. Did you also incorporate the rent everyone in Woodlawn Cemetery is paying?
Hold on a second. Who's the expert here? We've been building properties all over the city for decades.
That's true. I've seen your track record with Marshall Constructions.
What? Well, you've worked with Marshall Constructions for years. They are the best in the business.
I'm sure they are, but we all know the kind of profits hidden for yourselves if we were to let you use your own construction company.
We're gonna have to get back to you on this.
What in the hell was that?
What?
You're screwing this up!
The comps are garbage, Mitch. They're garbage.
Eric. Our job is to keep our heads down and get these projects over the finish line.
Well, maybe that's been the problem around here all along.
What's this I hear about the deal falling through? The developer's just called, threatening to pull out.
Everything's under control. We're just hashing out some last-minute items with them.
That's not what they're saying.
We're trying to get the city the best deal possible. The developers are gonna make a lot of money on this. They need us just as much as we need them.
Eric, I appreciate what you're trying to do here, but at the end of the day, our purpose is to build strong neighborhoods and create good jobs. We need the help of the private sector.
The EDC created for the developers or for the public?
What are you talking about? They said they defer their entire fee for us, which is over $1 million that the city doesn't have to pay right now.
Well, did they also mention that they're charging interest on that deferred fee? And of course, their interest rate is way above market.
Listen, I've got the mayor calling me, asking me what the hell's going on with this project. I don't have any answers for him right now. Sometimes you have to compromise. There's rocking the boat, and there's tipping it over. Don't tip it over.
Still haven't heard back from them yet?
I don't know, Eric. Maybe Mitch and everyone else is right about this one.
So now you're with them too.
Come on, Eric. We tried our best. Maybe this is just the way things are. No one wants to change. I mean, what are we even doing here?
That's it. That's it. Cash sweep.
What?
Cash sweep.
Eric? Eric? They took us off the deal.
I need to get a meeting with them ASAP. We're out of time.
Gentlemen, are you going to be around here for the next 40 years? I hope not. Wouldn't you like to be spending quality time with your families?
Get to the point.
I've worked out a financial model which can grant you your 40-year loan at a low interest rate.
So what's the catch?
Look, I acknowledge our differences on the comps, and we might never come to an agreement. So, I propose to you, we do a cash sweep. Now, with cash sweep attached to the deal, you won't have to push comps to a level that make you feel uncomfortable. If you're right, the rent is low. And with our low interest rate, your debt service coverage ratio will be fine.
So what's in it for you?
Well, if I'm right, the rate turns out to be high. EDC gets back their money in just a few years. We've actually inverted the capital structure so that even our own junior loan at a low interest rate makes commercial sense.
One moment.
Look, we're all trying to do good for the community. This project is about bringing hope to a deprived neighborhood, to make a difference. All of that starts right here